Welcome. You're listening to The Radke Show with David and Melissa Radke. You know, it has to be his idea. It has to be his idea. He's like a child. If it's not his idea, he don't want to do it. Just stare at me and I'll put you into a trance. Oh, you know, you have become a big guy who likes little dogs. That's always a funny thing to me. That's always a funny thing when these big, strapping, manly men carry around little dogs for their wives.
I would say he's a medium-sized dog, a small to medium-sized
But wouldn't you say you're a big, strapping man? I have a question to ask you.
I'm reminded every episode that I'm a big man because of these wonderful people that listen to us and watch us. They have still not helped us get a desk or something to cover my tires.
Don't y'all own a furniture store and you want free publicity? My gosh. David, I just texted someone and I haven't even
Was it me? I felt my phone go off.
No, I was texting someone and I didn't even send the text because I cannot think of the phrase I'm trying to think of. I was writing her and I was saying, am I supposed to check in, like show you my steps every day? Or is this honor
system?
Honor system. Yep. Honor system. I literally
which of us would you vote is more honorable than the other?
What?
If she can't even think of it.
Okay, I'm a lot of things, but dishonorable I am not. All right? I literally couldn't think. And don't let me forget that. I got to send that text, but I don't even know what I said. Am I supposed to show you my steps every day or is this just and then I put in quotes, you kind of got to hope I'm being honest. You kind of got to hope I'm being honest. Okay? I guess you are the more honorable one. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Radke Show with David and Melissa Radke. Did you guys know, David just asked me this because I have it written on the board over here. 82%. 82%. That is huge. 82% of couples have the same fight on repeat. And by the way, please don't think when I say fight, I don't think this is like lock, stock, and barrel. Yeah, like I'm going to give it to you. Like we're probably going to get arrested and people are going to call the cops.
But kind of a bickering, arguing.
This little thing, this little thorn in our buttocks that we just fight over the same thing over and over.
In fairness,
what?
If I had a thorn in my buttocks, I would continue to fight until the thorn was removed.
Don't say buttocks again. It was stupid when I said it. It was worse when you said it. 82% of people, David says to me, where'd you get that statistic? It's a legit statistic that I got from the interwebs.
Well, the reason why I asked it is because you realize that it's a statistical fact that 78% of statistics are made up on the spot.
David, you heard that somewhere. Okay. That's a high percentage for people to argue about the same thing over and over. And it reminded me when I was writing that on the board.
You remind me of something right now. I'm wondering if it's the same thing.
Yeah. 100%. The couple hanging up the mirror.
Oh, no.
David showed me a video the other day of a couple. They'd been married 41 years. And the caption of the video was, "This is 41 years of marriage." He was hanging up a mirror for her. And she said, "No, it's got to go down." And he said, "This much? It's got to go down this much?" And she said, "Yeah, if I'm standing here getting my keys, I want to be able to see my face in it." And he goes, "Do you see your face now? Do you see your face now?" She goes, "I see my face right here." He goes, "Do you see it if I move it up?" "Don't move it up. I don't want it up. I want it right there." And so he marks it. And then she goes, "Yes, I want it hung right there." He goes, "Fine, get out of the way." And she goes to get out of the way. He goes, "God, I hate you." Which I hope you don't ever say that about me, but that was funny. And it is those little bickering moments over and over.
I was thinking of our lunch we had last week with a couple, and she got onto him because he only would look at one person while he was talking.
Oh my gosh. Tell that story. This was my mom and dad.
I really kind of just told it, but we were just sitting there having lunch, and all of a sudden, in the middle of a conversation this man was having. Oh, did you already say it was your parents?
Yes.
I was going to try to leave them out. But her dad was saying her mom just got extremely irritated because he was just looking at Melissa. Melissa was sitting across from him. I was on one side and Annette was on the other. And she got so mad that he wasn't giving equal time to every single person at the table. It was just funny because it has been.
And they got really they got in a discussion about it right there at the table. This would be one of their little hills to die on. Like, he's like, I don't like it when you get onto me about that. She's like, well, I don't like it when I feel like I'm just sitting out of the conversation. He said, you know what the conversation is. You and I have already had the conversation.
And she tried to ask me, she goes, how did you feel about it? I'm like, I didn't even notice.
Yeah, she goes, I may have heard this story, but David hasn't heard this story, and you're making him feel like he's not wanted. David's like, actually, Annette, I'm fine. She's like, shut up, David. Anyway, Gene, and that is really a sore spot with them. Here's what's funny. Speaking of that day, so that was on our anniversary. We went to lunch with my parents. That afternoon, you guys probably listened to the Radke Show podcast on that Thursday, and it was about our anniversary. And one of the things that we talked about on that episode that David really gets frustrated at me for is what?
Throwing stuff away. Just not thinking, not caring what it is, whose it is. If you don't need it at that exact moment, you'll just throw it away.
And we specifically brought up the fact that this has happened many times
with checks.
With checks that have come in the mail for us. That afternoon, we get home from the Chinese buffet, from eating there with my parents.
And your argument or your defense has always been, well, I thought it was junk mail. I thought it was junk mail.
Do I really do it like that? I'm a grown woman, and I go, I thought it was junk mail. We get home. David says, hey, where's the anniversary card from my mom? I'd like to read it. And y'all, the minute he said it, my stomach dropped because I knew I had thrown that card away. But not only that, I knew that there was a check in that card. But I thought, no, surely not. I set the check out. He said, I want to read that card. I said, I let you read the card. He said, no, you didn't. I said, of course I did. Of course I did. I would never throw away a greeting card that you had not read. And he said, well, we know that's not true. We know that is not true. And he said, well, okay, could you at least give me the check that was in it? Because she had given us a little check for $100 for our anniversary because we were going to go see the Astros play. And that check was gone and I'm pruning out. And y'all, when I tell y'all, I took off running out of the house. You have never seen a fluffy woman run so fast. I ran to her house and I was going just like this. Write me another check. Write me another check. And I had literally done it that day. And I feel bad about that because you didn't get to see the really beautiful anniversary card from your mother. But in fairness, she just wrote happy 31 and then she signed her name.
I was going to try to make you keep talking.
I know. Don't do that.
She did. My mom actually, you said she got a very hearty laugh out of it because she had just listened.
She just listened to the podcast that very stinking day. So yeah, she thought it was hysterical. But today we're talking about what those little things are. Little things that happen over and over and over.
I mean, I know I've got a few for you, but I can't think any that you would have for me. Do you have any examples of?
I know you're joking. Number one, they're written right in front of your stupid face so you can see them, but.
I was trying to help. That's called a transition, but.
No, I know what it's called, David.
Or did you throw that transition away too?
I know what it's called.
I thought it was a junk transition.
I thought it was stupid. I know what it's called, David. But I guess I feel a little bit like I'm kind of doing all the talking on this episode of the Radke Show.
Well, I've been talking quite a bit. What are you talking about? I'm very confused what you're doing.
What are you doing?
Why aren't you just keep the conversation going? Why are you just like,
It's called a dramatic pause for you to enter in.
what do you want me to enter in? You want me to bring up my own things? That wouldn't make any sense. You would bring up those things.
Then you should have
If
brought
this is one of your first episodes you're watching, rest assured, most of them are moderately better than this. But also, just remember, we're Polish. That's a stupid
actually
Polish.
none of them are better than this. And this is why people watch it, because it's a marriage podcast and you and I are currently fighting right now.
But-
You have to look at what is on the production board and then go down the stream of consciousness, David, and interject.
That's exactly what I did by saying I can think of
There are
yours,
just-
but I can't think of
There are
mine.
just moments when I feel like I am doing most of the talking, most of the heavy lifting here. Okay.
Well, and it's funny because most of the time I feel I'm bringing all the entertainment. So,
oh my gosh, don't make me choke them on phlegm.
ew.
Here's what is a bother to me. I am in the 82%, but I've just given up hope. I think the 82% of couples are those who still have a little bit of hope and they feel like if they fight it out, they might come to a conclusion. We're no longer in the 82%. I've given up. I know that the drawer pulls in my kitchen are not ever going to be fixed. But I love the fact that one of them that is broke and hangs down like this, he will literally take the time to pop it back in, knowing full well I'm just going to open up that drawer and it's going to pop out again.
It sounds like you continue to break it after I fix it.
Fix it. Just fix it.
I'm going to fix that right after we finish.
You're going
That's-
to fix it the same way you're always fixing it,
No.
which is just to pop it in the hole.
No,
Stop, Radke. Stop.
popping it in the hole fixes a lot of things, though. I would just want to say that, especially for those 82% of people. That can solve a lot of problems.
I hope that heaven isn't listening to
Um,
this podcast today because they're not pleased. They're not pleased.
I believe the authors of the Song of Solomon are up there, so they're not even fixed. No, I will actually do that. I'm telling you, you know the way my mind works. My mind works, and I will see it. I'll have something in my hand, or I'm heating something up, and I'll see it, and I'll just kind of slide it back in there so it's not hanging, and then it does not cross my mind again.
So
It's
you're
just like
telling me
it's just like when we talk about Rocco, where we've given him something to do, and we're realizing because of the way he is wired, it's not a disobedience, it's not a disrespect. He literally will do two, and then a squirrel will run past, and the third one never.
So you're telling me, even though you are a person that bathes you take a shower every day, you open up our bathroom cabinet to get a towel, and it nearly falls off the one hinge that is left that it's hanging on.
The only time I open that door, I have opened that door 2 times. So in our bathroom, there's a little cabinet. There's a door here and a door here. I don't ever open this door, or I haven't been opening that door except for like over the last 3 weeks. I've opened it twice. Like if I'm putting your face rags or whatever you call those things in there, because all the towels go on the left-hand side. So I open that one all the time. And there's nothing wrong with that one. So I'd never.
So in other words, the cabinet you opened, Melissa, the fact that you open it and it swings down and almost hits you and cuts your arm off, I'm going to let that be.
No, it does. It never crosses my mind. In fact, what was that Sunday or Monday or whenever, when I was putting stuff in there and I noticed that needs to be fixed, I said, Melissa, please remind me of this when I can fix it.
Well, but y'all, ladies, hey, ladies,
Yep.
isn't this true though? When you remind them, they say, why are you nagging me? It is a can't win sometimes. Not always, but I would say that if I were to remind you of that, you would go, You don't think I literally just said something about that 36 hours ago? Can you give me a little bit of time? Or he'll say this. I love this one right here. Really? You're going to remind me right now when we're in the Raising Cane's drive-through?
Yeah, that would be the sign to throw past me.
He's right about that. We'll be like, the waiter will be like, and what would you like today, sir? And I'll be like, before you tell him what you want, don't forget to fix that. They would be like, really? This is what you're going to think about it? I do think about it at the most inopportune times.
Welcome to Maui. The time here is 3:00 and it's 70 degrees outside with a light breeze. Hey, David, don't forget to fix that cabinet when you get back home.
That's not true at all. There is one question I asked you a lot in Maui. There is something that I kept bringing up in Maui. Do you remember what it was? It's interesting that you said it was 3:00 in Maui.
Is that when they bring out the Kiro cart?
No.
What?
I asked you so many times, but what time is it?
Oh.
If you don't know, y'all, time zones freak me out. I don't understand them. I can't get behind them. I don't agree with them. I think they should just make a law. We're all in the same time. It just freaks me out. And I would ask him, what time is it at home? We would be like at the pool lounge. But what time is it at home? He'd say, I'm tired. I'm going to go to bed. What time is it at home? What does it matter? We're not there. We're not there.
But in fairness, that's at least a few hours off. But I mean, literally, if we're driving, I remember there's a place when you're driving to Tennessee, you drive into Eastern time zone for just a few miles and then you come back in and you're back in Central. And her mind just, wait a second. 1 second ago, the clock said 4:00.
I would say, oh my gosh.
Now it's saying 3:00. I don't understand.
And I always do this. Oh my gosh, it's time to eat lunch and I'm not even hungry. It's not time to eat lunch. Yes, it is. It is now 12:00 and I'm not even. David's like, why don't we today we just listen to your body and let's just listen to your body and maybe eat when you're hungry. No, it's time to eat lunch. It's 12:00 right now. And he'd be like, but it's not now. Now we're back at 11:03. That freaks me out. Anyway, we're not done with that. We're going to talk more about the things that you are willing to die on the hill on. But you're going to have to go to a commercial break. You're going to have to welcome them back from a break, and you're going to have to lead all of the next stuff because I feel like I do most of the talking here.
You do talk a lot.
A little spittle on the top of your lip. I don't like that. Don't do that with your tongue. Just reach up there and get it. David's son. I was going to say David's son and David's sir.
David's son. David's son. Hey, thank you for being with us today. We are not going anywhere. Stay tuned. We'll be right back after this quick message.
This episode is being brought to you by my new book, Chicken Fried Women, Friendship, Kinship, and the Women Who Made Us This Way. Have you ever known any strong, Southern, smart aleck, sassy, opinionated women? You do? You know my family. You can find this book anywhere books are sold. Amazon, grab it today. You'll love it. Now, back to the show.
All right. Thank you for staying with us. Wherever you're watching, wherever you're listening, we appreciate it. Make sure you subscribe so you never miss an episode. Okay, we were talking about, some of the things about being frustrating or can be, kind of bickering or whatever. But I think it's also important to point out that 82% of people may argue, but hopefully it's not 82% of their life or 82% of their marriage.
82% of people fight 82% of their lives.
But they're having a great time being married. Like we have. What was it? I told you I bring the entertainment, but I didn't know I brought it that time.
David, who has a great time being married?
Well, now, that's very hurtful.
David, I don't know, just the way you said it. You go, I know that 82% of couples have the same fight on repeat over and over, but hey, I hope the other % they're having a great Yeah, that sounds like a blast. Oh.
I maybe would phrase it different if I had another chance. We have a really good time. We have fun.
We do. The way you said it was funny. We do have a good time. I probably wouldn't, if I was like mentoring a girl that was about to get married, I probably wouldn't lead with, I'm going to tell you, overall, you're going to have a great time because it's really hard. It is really hard. But one of the things I wanted to bring up was just yesterday. So for those of you who think that I don't ever like love on David, like give him adulation and tell him how wonderful he is.
Shower me with your love. Shower me with the love that I long for.
Anyway, I sent David a text and a TikTok. And so the TikTok popped up on his phone. And then underneath it, I said, please watch this TikTok video and then know that you are so good at this. And not only are you wonderful at it, but our kids have watched you. Now Rocco knows how to treat a lady, and Remy knows what to expect from a man because you have modeled this really, really well. And essentially, we're not going to show the TikTok because the guy talks really slow in it. He took a 4-minute TikTok. He could have made that about 85 seconds. Okay. But essentially, here's what he was saying. He was saying, I just finished surfing and I just got back in my car. I'm about to leave. And as I did, I noticed that a van pulled up beside me, and a mom and a dad and a son and a daughter all hopped out of the car and went to the back of the van, opened up the doors, and began to pull some stuff out. The father, he said, I can only assume this is a mom, dad, son, and daughter. That's exactly what it looked like. The father grabs a folding chair, a lawn chair, and he takes off toward the beach. The teenage son grabs nothing, and he takes off toward the beach. The daughter is standing there on her phone, kind of like half waiting to help her mom, half looking at her phone. The mom grabs 2 folding chairs, a bag with what he said, what looked like probably would hold the towels. There was a towel sticking out of it, and a cooler. And the mom is trying to figure out how to carry the cooler, the bag, and the 2 folding chairs. Keep in mind, teenage son is now in the water. And he said, and I looked, dad is already sitting in his chair staring at the water. That would never happen in our family. It would just never happen. He said, I wanted to go and help her. But honestly, in this day and age, I didn't know how the man would respond. I really didn't. I didn't want to create any kind of domestic thing where he thinks, oh, really? You think you need to take care of my woman and I can't take care of I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to make her ill at ease. But she's trying to balance all this stuff. She gives something to the teenage daughter. Now the teenage daughter is carrying stuff. She's officially carrying more than the dad carried. This would just never happen in David and I's family. This would just never happen in our home, not ever. And I literally just took a moment to send David a text and to thank him for that. But David, after you watched the TikTok, did you happen to look at the comments?
You know what? I don't think I did, actually.
Okay. The comments were sadder to me than even the TikTok. One woman commented, and she had like 3,000 likes on her comment. And this was her comment. This is what it means when I say I am a single mom who has been married for 18 years. I do it all. And it had like 3,000 likes. I cannot imagine that kind of life. I know that there are people listening to us right now who have that kind of marriage. That is not what we have. I am probably very undeserving of what we have, but you were taught well and you've carried that into our marriage. And Now Remy knows what to expect, and Rocco knows, you get the door. You carry the heavy stuff. The night before Remy moved to college, yeah, I had done most of the packing, the indoor packing in her room into bags. I didn't carry out a thing. I didn't carry out a single thing. I did most of the unloading, meaning took it out of bags and put it into her closet. I didn't carry a thing out of that truck and lug it in. Like, you have just always stood on what is kind of traditional man things, that it's the role of the man to do. Am I saying that correctly? Does that sound old fashioned? I mean, the way I'm saying it?
No, I don't think I don't think that it's old fashioned, because that would mean like it's from a previous day. It was right then. Maybe it's not now. Oh, that's old fashioned. No, it's absolutely what should be done now. It's what men should aspire to. It's what women should, expect as far as that. Number one, I can't give myself much credit at all, because I just watched my father.
Mhm.
I'm sure we had a couple of conversations here and there, but for the most part, I just watched him.
Mhm. Another person commented on that TikTok and said, "Why didn't you help her?" I feel like I'm that woman. Why didn't you help her? If that husband sitting down in that chair looking at the ocean is going to have a problem with that, that is on him. If you can step into a situation and be a gentleman, why would you not do it? Which I'm sure that comment made him feel terrible, because he seemed like a really nice guy. What do you think, though, of stepping into that? I feel like I know what you'll say, but
I don't think I would have. My only other option might have been if Remy or Rocco were with me, and obviously more Rocco, but Remy knows too when it's her time to help. If she sees somebody that needs help or those kind of things. This isn't what did we talk about a while, the princess mentality.
right.
It's not that.
No.
So if I would have had one or both of them, I would have went, "Hey, go get that," Now, and to be fair, especially Rocco, I may have looked up and Rocco might have already been over there.
Yeah.
Because he's going to be better at it than I am. Just because he's got such an incredible heart. So I don't think I probably would have, for the same reasons
That he said? Nowadays, you just don't know what you're walking into.
You don't know how volatile it may be, or, you help carry the stuff up there and maybe the guy has a black eye and a bloody nose because she just waylaid him or something. And
what?
I'm just saying, you don't know
You've watched too much Law and Order SVU.
I'm just saying, you don't know from any of the context.
I would have said the exact opposite. I would have said, you go, you help her set up, and then you walk off, and then he is really mean to her. And her pay for it.
Yeah. Because, I was going to say there's a good chance he was probably also a coward, so he might not have said anything to that guy, but that may not be the case. He could be a jerk and a rager, all in one.
The truth of the matter is, I did laugh. That was a belly laugh when you said, "But I hope everybody has a really good time." But the truth about marriage is that it's not always a really good time. And another truth about marriage is that it isn't always about big, huge, grand gestures. It is not always about that. We have some friends who everything is some huge, sweeping, grand gesture. You probably do not even know who I'm talking about, because I don't share it a lot with you, but just in conversation, she'll tell me about something. And it seems like everything has to be this big, huge, sweeping, gone with the wind gesture. I don't know how sustainable that is. If it is sustainable for you, if that's y'all's love language, and if that works for you, that's great. I'm going to give you an example of what I mean when I say small gestures are important. David Radke loves to be affirmed. He loves to be loved. He loves to be told. He loves to be, what is that called in your love language?
Words of affirmation.
Words of affirmation. I would hope that the small gesture of sending you that TikTok and then praising you with that text made you feel good.
Absolutely.
Because yesterday, when we were getting ready to go to Rocco's tennis match, And I walked into the kitchen to fill up my water. And I just happened to look over, and we have an area in our kitchen where we plug everything in and let it charge. And there was my fan. It's a little fan I keep in my purse that I love, that goes up all the way. You can turn it up to 100 and it will just literally blow the eyelashes off of you. He had gone to the truck. He had gotten in my purse. He had taken out the fan. He had brought it in, and he had been charging it so that it would not die on me. That is not a grand gesture, but that is a meaningful small gesture. I don't know how you sustain the big gestures. I don't know how you keep that going. I don't know how you keep it going emotionally, financially, sexually, all the things. But kudos to you.
Well, and it's, I mean, like if we talked about this a little while back where I said, what did I say? Instead of going on a trip, all those times we went and, ate hamburgers and watched the movie.
At the Ray's Drive-In, yeah.
And so when you take all of them, it involves so much time and so much thought. When you put those all together, you put all the small gestures together for a year. And even if there is a grand gesture, here's a big fancy trip, or here's a getaway, or whatever, those are nice. And I think we probably do need those every now and then. But I still don't know I don't think they outweigh those.
Oh, no.
The constant.
I'm going to be totally honest. I personally don't think that anybody that we know and love would listen to this and think that I'm talking about them. So you don't even know who I'm talking about. This grand gesture couple, I don't think she gets a lot of small gestures. I don't think she gets a lot of tiny, intimate little gestures. And maybe he has figured that out about her, that she doesn't.
She might get some small, tiny gestures.
That was a sex joke, and he don't even know who I'm talking about. So
I think I do. We'll talk about it at the break.
I don't think she gets those. Let me tell you something. I can't tell you the number of times I have woken up with an iced coffee beside my bed because he's had to run something into the mailbox, or he's had to take something up to the school, and I have woken up with an iced coffee beside my bed because he made a little detour. I can't tell you the number of times. I can't count the number of times David Radke drives home from being in town and will text or call and say, "I'm on my way home. Do you need anything?" To this day, my mother has said, that is the most astounding thing about your marriage that I've ever heard. She said, if I called your daddy and said, all we need is milk, and you are literally at the grocery store, he wouldn't go down a different aisle to pick it up for me. She said, because he hates doing stuff like that. He just hates it. David does that everything. Like, there are a lot of small gestures that over time have just built up in the account that is your marriage, and we learned.
Would you say you have a good time?
And what it's done is it's made this marriage really, really a really good time. We've had a really good time.
At least 18% of the time.
My question for you, though, is, because I think there are people listening today, though, when is it not really about drawer pulls? When is it really not about bathroom cabinets hanging on by a thread? Like these heels that we die on, these 82% of these little arguments, when is it really not about that? Like, when is it really about more? It's about that I feel like a single parent in this marriage. I feel like you don't hear me. I feel like you don't see me. This is not about a drawer pull in the kitchen. This is about the drawer pull it has meant something to me for the last 5 years, and it's never been fixed. When is it about that?
Yeah.
And that's not necessarily my story, so I can't really talk to that, but I know that there are some of you who listening who can.
Well, just to clarify a little bit for people, that's not the chapter we're in your story.
Exactly.
You've been in that
exactly
earlier chapters. You probably felt like that. Lord knows I have. But yeah, so it's a an ebb and flow.
I would say you're absolutely right.
And to that, I don't know if I can find it quick enough. To that, I shared something with you around our anniversary I thought was so fascinating about it was either a Harvard or an MIT study, and it was just talking about how relationships over, was it 30 years? Relationships over 30 years.
Look it up. You texted it to me.
Oh, I did text it to you.
You texted it to me. So you look it up. While you're looking it up, I'm going to say you're actually absolutely right. I would say in my first marriage, that was a huge thing. And in David's first marriage as well. And a lot of you are saying, oh, Melissa, I didn't know you'd been married before. I didn't know David had been married before. We haven't. We've only been married to each other. But believe me when I tell you, we talk about our marriage in first marriage and second marriage fashion, because our first marriage was horrible. It was terrible. And it really was about, you are not hearing me and you are not seeing me and you do not care. And then we completely broke down and we contemplated divorce and we sought divorce attorneys. And then the love of God and the belief in our commitment and God's healing power restored us. And now we call this our second marriage, because that's exactly what it feels like. But yeah, that used to be a huge issue. It isn't now, but I really am curious for those of you listening, like, how do you know when it becomes deeper? How do you know when it becomes deeper for you? How do you know, and what do you do about it? Tell us in the comments.
So I found this Harvard study. They had 724 couples who had made it past 30 years of marriage, and they had some surprising results. That couples that last over 30 years, it's not about love, it's not about sex that kept them together. Those things aren't the things that kept them together. It's the ability to tolerate the same things in each other over and over again.
Shut up. Is it really?
Yeah. It's, you know,
over and over and over.
This habit drives me crazy, but can I fix it? The one who stayed says this is who they are, and they're not going to change. My way my mind's wired, and I have to be reminded of things. I'd love for it to change for numerous reasons, but you realize it's not the end of the world, whatever, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing I thought was pretty amazing that they also pointed out that almost every long-term marriage has had a moment where they were ready to call it quits.
It's quits with an S.
Quits. They were ready to call it quits. Almost all of them do, but they didn't. Not because they couldn't, but because they gave it more time. The most common answer is, I decided to do nothing, and 6 months later, things just kind of shifted.
Isn't that crazy? It's so true, though.
If you will just calm the heck down for a second,
right,
and realize that's why when I said the ebb and flow, that popped into my mind. It is an ebb and flow. We're in an incredible season, and I hope we stay there till we die. Chances are we may not.
That's right.
And that's fine too. We'll navigate through that, you know.
But just sit still. Know that this happens to the best of them. But other couples have made it past this. Don't rush to make a decision. Don't say this is the last straw. I mean, I understand that happens, but those who have made it past 30 years, it's because they have just accepted some things.
Yeah.
You know?
I'll say that. I will say, just the little asterisk, please don't hear something that we're not actually saying.
Thank you for doing that.
If you're I
agree with you.
Especially if you're in a dangerous situation where you are threatened physically, even emotionally, your kids are, we are not talking about that. There is a line that when someone crosses, I'm not saying that even in those circumstances that you can forgive them, God can forgive them, and God can mend things. But just please don't hear what we're not saying. If you got to grin and bear it through that.
The Radkes
that's
told
not
me
what
that I just had to sit still and not do anything and just accept the fact that he comes home drunk 6 nights out of 7 and beats all of us up.
Yeah,
Are
no.
you kidding me? Don't hear what we're not saying. So I'm glad you gave that little asterisk. Okay, guys, we have a commercial break we're going to go to. We'll be right back after this for a little game that we call Pick Your Heel to Die On. David. This episode is being brought to you by my new book, Chicken Fried Women, Friendship, Kinship, and the Women Who Made Us This Way. Have you ever known any strong, Southern, smart aleck, sassy, opinionated women? You do? You know my family. You can find this book anywhere books are sold. Amazon, grab it today. You'll love it. Now, back to the show. David has made a list of 5 things that are constant irritations. Tell me if I'm saying it wrong.
Just kind of.
And I have to choose out of those, which is the heel I am not going to die on, David. So these that he has written are specific to me. I have written 5 things that are constant little irritations between us that maybe he just hates about me that I do, that he's had to accept. And I'm going to read 5 and he's got to pick out, okay, that one, that is a hill I am not going to die on. And that is a hill I'm going to stake my ground in that.
So are we going to do it for everyone, or we're going to, in the 5, pick one that we're not willing to die on and one that we will? And the others just kind of.
I think you read the 5 and then you have to pick which are the ones that I'm willing to let go and which are the ones that I am saying absolutely not.
Okay.
Okay. You want me to go first or you want to go first?
Yeah, you can go first.
Okay. These will need to be explained a little bit. Okay. Some of them are going to get him fired up. Here we go. I don't think I have to be on the field to watch my kids play a sport. He gets so frustrated when it's cold. I say, let's stay in the car. We can watch them from here. Absolutely not. When they look over to the side, they need to see their parents are sitting there. If it's hot, let's just sit in the truck. We got a great view. We can have the air. Melissa, half of the issue is just showing up. Parents would just show. I do not believe I have to be on the field to watch our kids play a sport. I want to spend more time with other couples, even if it's on our anniversary. We've had 31 anniversaries, David. Okay? You having dinner, just me and you, nothing revelatory is going to happen. Why can't we have it with other people? Why can't we go out of town with other couples just to celebrate our anniversary? What? That's our anniversary, not their anniversary. I only want to look at him. He knows. Okay? I think it's fine.
You're right. Yeah, we've never gone on a trip for our anniversary with a couple friends.
But like us going to Houston last week, I wanted to invite our best friends to go. And you were like, on our anniversary trip? Well, excuse me for just wanting to be alone with you. I don't think it's that big of a deal. Leftovers? Absolutely not. We're not going to have them in this house. We're going to throw them out. But that's 4 chicken breasts. You could go, I'm not doing leftovers. We're throwing them out. You know how much money you're wasting? I'm not doing leftovers and we're throwing them out. I think you text Remy too much. I think you should text her once a week. I think that should be the amount that you check on your college kid. They're now living a different life. If they want to talk to us, they can talk to us. You need to back off. And you don't get to be the only say in school decisions for our kids. Just last night with Rocco, you were saying, well, if he wants to do this, I'm going to back him up. Excuse me. I get a say here. Boom! Those are good. Those are good ones. Which one of those are you going to let go and which one are you going to stake in the ground?
I'm trying to think which one I'm going to. Probably.
We'll do them one by one now. I don't think I have to be on the field to watch my kids play a sport.
That's not a hill I'm willing to die on.
Great. Then just say, I'm not going to die on that hill.
I mean, if you love and care for your kids, you should.
Don't do that. That is manipulative. That is manipulative. Do not do that.
But I'm not.
Are you going to die on the hill or not?
No.
I want to spend more time with other couples, even if it's on our anniversary. Oh my.
I don't think. It's funny. Last week or was that the episode earlier this week? Want some more of it was me saying us going out of town because we had such a nice dinner and a nice night.
It was you saying it, wasn't me saying it.
And then now you're going, nah, not so much. I'm probably not going to dine. We get a lot of alone time.
Leftovers, not in this house. Don't want them. Don't care for them. Don't like them. And my doctor told me I'm allergic to them. You think
how much you paying for that?
You think that's a joke? My doctor said I'm allergic to cherries, pecans, and leftovers. That's what he said, and he wasn't kidding because he has zero sense of humor and very little personality, to be perfectly honest. He said when you microwave them, there's some kind of toxin, and my body doesn't handle it well.
As long as I can eat leftovers, I don't care if you. I'm kind of used to you not.
You don't get to be the only say in school decisions for our kids. He is pursing his lips.
I'm not the only. What'd you say?
You don't get to be the only say.
The only say. I don't want to be the only say. I want us to have a conversation, but I do want to be the tiebreaker.
Between me and you? Well, that's not fair. College check-in frequency.
Yeah, I'm not going down that hill because I don't.
So you are going to die on the hill that you get to be the final decision.
I guess of those, because what you're talking about is a sports related thing.
It is a sports related thing.
Which you know nothing of.
I don't like that. I don't like that. They always say to me, Mom, you don't really get to weigh in because you never played sports. Excuse me, everybody. I was in something called choir.
Choir is not a contact sport.
It is about teamwork. It's not a contact sport.
And I don't want this to come across ugly, but I'm much more involved in our kids' schooling and sports than you are. I mean, I'm just being honest. David, you would say the same thing.
I would.
So,
okay. I don't care if you're the tiebreaker, but I'm going to have my day in the sun. I'm going to have something to say about it. All right.
So you are going to get out of the car and watch the
No, I 100% I'm going to continue to sit in the air or in the heat. Like in the heat of the car or the air of the car. Pretty much the car. Okay.
Okay. So I don't understand. Am I saying this right? Is this the hill you want to die on, that you refuse to turn your light off when I'm ready to go to sleep? You're just like, nope, leave it on. I'm going to read till 1 a.m. Now, you have the Kindle.
Yep.
Which lights up.
Yep.
You got a big iPad that lights up.
Yep.
You got a phone that lights up, but you got to have that lamp on. I don't get that.
It's the same as you when you make us turn up the lights when we're trying to have a nice dinner because you, and I quote, have to see what's in my food. That doesn't make any sense. It's chicken spaghetti. I just plated it up for you over there, Richard. What do you mean you got to look at? He's like, no, I want to eat with the lights full on. I'm like, we're watching a movie. Doesn't matter.
First of all, I don't know who this Richard fellow is, but if it's dimly lit, I'm okay with that. But if probably the biggest thing that comes to my mind is when we're on a road trip and we pull through and, get fast food and I'm driving and eating, I have to have the light on.
That is so weird.
Because I want to see what I'm putting in my mouth. That seems reasonable.
Okay.
It ain't like I'm touching it to my chin before
Okay. Quit making this all about you.
All right. I don't understand why I am always the one that has to get out of bed and you are never. If it's early in the morning and, somebody's at the door or the kids need something, or if it's late at night, oh, I forgot to start the washer. If you're in bed, you will not get up. Evening or morning, doesn't matter. It always is going to be me.
Go to number 3. Just go to number 3.
Because you already know.
No, I'm just hearing all. I just like doing them.
Why, after 31 years, if you have a work day Saturday with a long to-do list in mind, why can you not present that list in advance of, before we'll use a time generally you will present it at 7:58 and be expecting things to start at 8:00. Why? Just a couple days in advance go, hey, here's a couple things I'm hoping we can knock out this weekend.
Okay.
But I'm just like kicking back going, oh, it's football day, or we're going to hang by the pool or whatever. And then you're like, no, you're going to work.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I hear that. I hear you. You've been heard and seen. Last one.
And a little addendum to that one, I'd love for you to have some things on the to-do list. Why number 4?
This is number 5.
No, this is number 4.
Oh, these feel so lengthy.
Why do you have to do everything at the last minute?
What?
Why do you do everything at the last minute? Why can't you do something in advance? So if anything happens, there's no stress and it's already done. But like everything is done in the 11th hour.
Okay, that is so ridiculous. I don't do that. I don't even know what you're talking about. That is so weird. Go to the next one. You're not playing this game right.
And the last one is, I think your ban on having sandwiches more than once a month should be lifted.
What?
You're like, I don't like sandwiches.
I don't.
And so we get one Subway or McAllister's or maybe Jersey Mike's or whatever it is. We get one of those a month. And then that is your quotient, and we're not doing it again. The only way we can sneak past the McAllister's is I can get a sandwich and you can get
a salad
or pizza or something, whatever.
Okay. That is ridiculous. Do you realize how fortunate as a husband that you are if those are your biggest complaints? And I don't need you to go back over them. I can tell you exactly what I'm a down.
I can tell you, I do have it pretty good.
You do have it real good.
We have a pretty good time.
I think what you're saying is we have a really good time. I'm going to tell you what hill I'm going down.
Not getting out of the bed.
I ain't getting out of the bed. I'm not getting out of that bed. Once I'm down, I'm down. I don't care. I'll turn that light off for you so you can go to bed. I will not wait till the 11th hour, whatever that ridiculousness was. And fine, you want sandwiches every night? I ain't got to cook anymore. That's fine. Bulling your girl down. Your girl down. Okay? And also, I think it's atrocious that you would want me to get up and walk to the other end of the house. I could be killed, David. Somebody could break into our house strictly for my body. So you need to protect your woman. Plus, David, you don't know anybody in your life who loves the bed more than I do. Love it so much. It's my favorite place to be. And once I'm there, I can't get up. I'm just thinking about it right now makes me all silly.
I almost sent you a quote I saw the other day of Nick Jonas because I knew it would blow your mind.
Why?
Nick Jonas says, I've always been this way. The bed is just for sleeping.
What?
I can't lay on the bed. I can't sit on the bed. I can't read a book in bed. I can't watch TV in bed. Like I cannot go to the bed until it's time to go to sleep.
I could run an empire from my bed. I can do it.
And you pretty much
and I pretty much do every day. So that's the one I'm going to die on that hill. Hey, you guys, thank y'all. I know we made that a little bit longer, but anyway.
Hey, we appreciate you hanging out with us. Every Tuesday and Thursday, we have new episodes of The Radke Show. So wherever you listen to podcasts, wherever you watch podcasts, please be sure to subscribe. And would you be so kind, leave us a 5-star review and just write a little something. I love, Melissa. David gets on my nerves.
That'll hurt him.
I want a marriage that's really great.
A lot of fun
like theirs. Leave that 5-star review, leave those comments, and just share us with your friends. Tell them what's going on. We love to see more and more people watching every single episode.
What? Say it again. I'm sorry, guys. I have to go. My bed is calling. Thanks for listening to this episode of The Radke Show. We're going to end now so that you can go and love on your people. Till next time.